Good evening, Speed Gaming fans. I am Kucheri, and welcome to today's Link to the Past League Season 3, Week 3 casual boots race between cannot pronounce that, and WillardJBradley. Someone in chat help me out with that. Part of Did You Check Your Boots? Currently 2 and 3 right now, and DTB, who's 3 and 2 right now. Werfjig. Okay, Werfjig. Tim in chat helping me out there. But yeah, this is possibly a fight for either a tie for first place in the Misery Mire division. There's currently 5 teams with 9 points right now in that division. If Willard takes out the win now, they will have a lead until some other teams play this week. But yeah, so we're doing casual boots. We're going to start with the boots, the sword, and we are going to go through the whole standard sequence, the escape sequence, and we're away. So we'll see how execution plays out in this first part, because this first part is a little bit about execution. And we start with bombs. That's actually pretty good. And, using the boots, they can run straight up here to the drop down to say hi to their uncle. And they get an extra $50 for their troubles. Next up is 3 more bombs. So we're going to have a nice Kakariko after we get out of there. And now we're in Hyrule. You gotta be careful with bonks, though. Bonks will take away just over a second your time. 70 frames gone for every bonk. So now Willard's about a room behind. And we get a whole heart container in the map chest here in Hyrule. But yeah, no, the whole escape sequence is so much better with the boots. It's just so nice. We're going to see what's on the boomerang chest here. Piece of heart. We should be either getting the small key through Dark Cross here or the next chest, so don't be surprised if this is a small key. And I do have my co-commentator finally joining in, teammate of WillardJBradley, JP. How you doing today, man?
Doing all right. Kind of joining you here last second to bring you some of this action.
All the embarrassing stuff Willard got out of the way. So I think you don't need to worry about anything anymore, right?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. If I missed embarrassing stuff by Willard, I'll eventually catch up. He'll do some more later.
So, just having to take Zelda out, we were going to get an item in Dark Cross. I don't think we've seen the map yet, so we still have 3 items left.
Yeah, there's not a lot to talk about during this opening sequence. Pretty straightforward. You just go through the escape, get to the sanctuary, and then the world opens to you from there.
Now, what's your favorite play to do in casual boots mode once you get to Sanctuary? Do you do the Kakariko play, or do you run for Houlihan so you get out near Eastern to do Sarashala?
I usually stick to the normal play. I usually do Bonkrox into the Lumberjack check and then go to CAC from there. I definitely see some good value in going to Sarsala quick because you find something there, it's a little bit of an advantage. But I generally like to stick with the usual routing.
Oh, we get a Shovel and Dark Cross. That's going to be something that runners might run to when they get done with Kakariko.
Yep, that's a nice little thing to route in. Might give you an incentive actually to go to Saharsala too, because then you could route Kakariko from the south now.
Alright, we get 2 more items back here. One of these I do believe has to be the map. And there it is right there with the hook shot and flute. Well, the only play is Kakariko now, right?
Yeah. I think you gotta go to CAC. You have to activate that flute and potentially make an early play up Death Mountain now.
Now that flute would be able to just start flying everywhere. But werfjig is going to be the first one out of the escape sequence. Oh, I forgot that Treshkov had the map. And now we have bottle vendor money, so...
So yeah, with that, this world is actually even more open than you'd expect. And Willard, I think, is going for a Houlihan play. I think there's no other reason to go this way.
Now get the extra money. Oh, okay. I've never seen that sub before, but I guess that works too. And we get a map check. Regular crystals in both Eastern and Hera with a red crystal at Desert. I mean, at least this way you don't have to worry about Zora money if it comes down to it.
Yeah. It's a risky play a little bit because if money's plentiful, then you lose a little time on that.
Yeah, but with Boots, I was only, what, a minute time sync to that? While Werf is going to find themselves the lamp. And that shovel dash there to get the Master Sword. That lamp and Master Sword now opens up something interesting at 6 minutes.
Yeah, it does, but we got so much to check still that neither of these runners are thinking about it yet. Well, I mean, the only runner who could be... neither of them actually could be thinking about it yet because neither of them has all the pieces yet.
Well, there's the rest of our Zora money. Let's see if Willard decides that's worth it. It looks like Willard is deciding that is, while we are going to check out Blind's hideout.
So Willard going for all this money, it makes me think he's committing to doing a early Zora play.
Did find Moon Pearl and the boots, what would have been the boots in Blind's hideout. Mind you, it does not affect logic progression or anything like that. It's just the boots has to be replaced by something. But now, between the Master Sword Lamp and that Moon Pearl, we do have some Dark World access. Of course, as you said, we're probably not going to go straight there while we find Quake at the desert. Not the desert library, wow. I was thinking desert because that's normally where we get the book to get to desert.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I don't know. It's been a day. I think many of us can say it's been a week.
Yeah.
And there's our other medallion, Ether, at the well.
So now we've got kind of a good idea of what we're going to see in CAC. The only thing is that Willard may not be able to eject Sick Kid right away because he didn't get that bottle from Bonkrox.
Well, with the flute, it's not that bad of a out order sequence there. once he, Willard gets the flute out of Bonk Rocks, he can just flute right back.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting to see where these runners go out of CAC. Do they follow the normal and do South Shore? Do they go right up Death Mountain?
I'm going to predict Willard's going to check Lumberjack Ledge. That's something werfjig did not do, and if there's something there, Willard is definitely going to Aga right away.
That's fair, actually, yeah. If there is something at Aga, or on Lumberjack, then doing Aga makes a lot of sense.
But Sick Kid is going to be the Flippers. Okay. But we're all done with Kakariko checks now.
Yeah, so it's just a matter of which way they go after this.
Ooh, Werf is not going. Oh, wait. Went back and forth on it.
Yeah, he thought about it and decided it'd be better to pick those up now. Like any other amount, you leave it behind, but 300 this early when you haven't found much for rupees so far, you take it.
I've been enjoying, like, whenever I was doing my practices this week, doing a little dash with the first row of bushes. I've been hitting 7 seconds on the maze game. Like, whenever I was practicing for this week. It's pretty fun.
That's a good time. Worf's not gonna check dig spot, so he's not gonna get his Master Sword right away.
But we are going to see there's 20 rupees in the dam. And now we're going to see what's flooded. And it's a piece of heart, vanilla. And we're off to say hi to Mini Moldrum Cave.
I think, let's say, I could potentially see a route what I was going to do here to go through the Dark Cave to get to Dark Death, or to Death Mountain, but that doesn't make a lot of sense right now. It'd be better to just flute up there, especially since he doesn't have a glove.
Yeah. And it is in logic. Like, once we get up there, Old Man is in logic with the lamp, so. But we have a second sword. Well, the second sword we found is going to be tempered in the Mordorm Cave. And, we're not on medallion hunts this time around. Okay. 20 rupees in Lumberjack. So Willard's going to turn into that Sick Kid to get the flippers, and we'll probably see Willard chase after werfjig. Now you're going to see the separation of what Houlihan does. So now werfjig just got done with Ice Rock Cave, and Willard's now doing the dam. So, and setting up a water run.
Yeah, it's basically the difference between the Houlihan play plus the shovel check.
Alright, we're not going back for the island. Willard's about ready to get a tempered sword. Man, why is the man underneath the bridge hoarding bombs for? What's he planning? Oh. Not going to... Oh, okay, just flew back there to make it a little bit quicker. That makes sense.
Yeah, just flew back to 8. It makes this a little quicker, that's all.
So after this, we will have all of Eastern checks to do. Can't finish Eastern, but we can get hopefully 3 items out of there, plus the 3 in Straussler's closet. We still have a couple items up on Death Mountain. Oh, actually more than that. We have the hook shot, so we have all of East Death Mountain too, so that's 10 checks.
Yeah, there's still plenty of checks out there.
Alright, Zora Ledge was nothing.
Interesting, Willard didn't set up a... Oh, there, never mind.
He knows extra secrets that we don't know. Oh, we got an invincibility cane. But that's not progression, so... Probably werfjig was going to go up to Death Mountain to get those 10 checks.
We'll see.
Nope, got shovel to dig up. That shovel will turn into a temper sword for werfjig. So Willard's just now Zora checks behind, and werfjig is actually going to go ahead and do the up to 6 checks here. But basically 5 checks.
Yeah. Interesting call. You might just be coming here for Sahar Slit too. We'll see if he loots away right after this.
I'm probably going to take a guess Willard is going to go to Death Mountain just because of the more checks that's available. But we did find, I think that was Sankart in Straussler's closet plus some other googies. And Werf is going to go to Death Mountain.
Yeah. So getting the hookshot and flippers early, or getting that hookshot early, likely put something up here. Hookshot and flute, but we'll see. I mean, hookshot and flippers could also be some Dark World routing. It's too soon to tell.
I mean, we have access to most actually, we have access to just about everything that's not like Maya or Dark Death Mountain locked in Dark World if we decide to do Aga. Of course, that's a 5-minute time sink no one wants to do. Now, if we do find Mirror here or Hammer, that Hera is, easily full clearable, and with the Temper Sword, not as bad to fight Moldorm with. Plus, we also have Hookshot for the Hera pot.
Oh man, Willard's down to 1 heart after taking some hits from rocks and dead rocks.
As long as Willard checks inside the cave, I mean, just, taking a quick death and reviving that old man wouldn't be too bad here. Not as costly as, dying in Spiral Cave or something. Alright, first couple checks of Paradox. Nothing. Willard's going to get a couple of health here once, Willard drops down. The book. Alright, so that book now gives us desert access, plus we can read, stuff. Because apparently you need to have a book to read, even though you don't know how to read. It makes sense.
It gives us desert access, but not the ability to complete deserts.
Yep, we still need gloves. But desert is also possibly 2, guaranteed at least 1. But Willard's basically now on Worf's heels. If Will, oh jeez, Willard.
You had to say something.
Hey. This is 10 minutes in the past. This is not my fault.
Or
Unless I said something at 9 minutes. Oh, we got a mirror. That's Hera. That's the ether tablet.
Yep, and Worf's gonna follow that right away.
But then after this, we're only down to Eastern and Desert and Agena. Ooh, we do actually have a bottle in that cane though. But we don't have gloves, or hammer. Never mind.
Yeah, Spike Cave's never available until you have Dark World access anyway.
There's nothing. Willard's being Neo right now.
I don't know if Garfield should be able to... Well, Garfield can move that fast if he's...
Chasing lasagna.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, there's our glove. And we get map check. TR, Swamp Palace, and Thieves Town are pendants. Okay.
Yep, we also had a red crystal at ice, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Not that bad of a crystal sub. You may have to avoid swamp and TR, but that's really good. All right, so Worf is trying to do spin speed Harapot. Took about 10 or so tries, and Willard has to screen delete that dead rock, but that's fine. If Willard gets Harapot first try, that will basically catch him up to Worf right now. Still a chance that the item is in the basement. Depends on what Moldor gives. Worf taking an unfortunate fall there.
Yeah, Willard's giving up on the spin speed and he's just going for a bomb setup.
Nope, first bomb didn't go through. And Worf is now on Moldor. And that probably should not have hit. News, we find ourselves another bottle. So, Small came to the basement, and Willard's like, I'll just go up the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, sometimes you just get frustrated enough at that and you just decide, forget it, I'm just going to take this normally. So, Worf is actually going to make up, so it's just going to open his lead a little bit over Willard with this Hera. But yeah, I expect, as expected, he goes straight to desert area with that glove. Desert's now full clearable.
Yeah, as I said before, there's 2 items here. Tempest Sword, even though if you don't have the Fire Rod or Ice Rod, Tempest Sword still makes quick work of Lamos. It's not the best method, but still gets the job done. Oop, Willard poked! Willard poked! But Moldorm Iron Ridge does go down. Willard ties up the crystals there.
So if we want to keep this Light World train going, they're going to find the bow in deserts.
Yeah, I mean, they're also hoping for either a hammer or the second glove. And Willard's going to be joining Werf. And so we got to check the big chest. We have not found a single lamb yet, I don't think. Yeah, we haven't. So big chest and lambos are where our items are today. Now, people who are cheering on Werf, they just want to keep on seeing Willard follow slowly behind Werf right now. But eventually, we're going to see whose execution will be better in some dungeons.
Yeah, still, so far, the majority of the difference has been just that Houlihan.
Yep. Plus, Willard probably took a little bit longer trying to get the Harry Pot set up before giving up on it. Werf did take a while doing it, plus took a random fall after. But still, I mean, that was about 10, 20 seconds there. Werf is now going to be on to Lamos. Willard's going to get the next piece of heart. We'll see what Lamos is holding. So I believe 4 slashes, 2 spin slashes on each one of these will do the job. 2 Lambos are down. And another one of those, I don't believe how that hit, but it's fine. Desert had nothing.
So now you're getting to the point where you have to make a decision. Now, of course, Werf's going to go check at Agina here. And then after that, you have to make a decision. Do you want to spend the time in Eastern? Or do you want to just assume this is an Aga seed and go for Aga now?
Now that's only 3 possible 3 checks left. Whereas if you do Aga, yeah, it's a 5-minute sync. But you do have all of Dark, main Hyrule to run through to find your other glove or something like that.
Yeah, that's a big thing. If you go for Aga now, and it looks like Werf is going to do that. Yeah, you've got, with the flipper, with gloves and hookshot, or even flippers and hookshot, you've got access to basically all of Lower Dark World, so, this isn't a bad play. Now, Willard, though, I expect him to go to Eastern, because he hasn't checked Saharsla yet.
Yeah, that's still 5 items for him, at least.
That could be a turning point in this seat of, say, Hammer or the other glove is in Eastern. Then this is a time sink that Werf's not going to get back.
Point being made out in chat. Our runners could do Aga and then just pod Eastern dips at the same time to see what all they can and can't grab.
That's true. But still, this is just such a time sink, especially with blue balls. If you get a bad blue ball pattern, that's just more time lost here.
I'm sorry, I'm 12. Anyway. Willard's going to do Strasla.
Yeah, like this makes sense for him because he hasn't been over in this area at all yet.
But yeah, as Werf is going up Aga, we should mention how the Aga fight will work. It goes into waves of 5 attacks. The first of these, attacks is always an orange fireball that we can reflect. The next 3 is 50-50 between an orange fireball or a set of blue fireballs that we can't reflect. We can break them up, but that's about it. And then the 5th attack is a lightning attack, which means we need 6 orange fireballs. The possibility with this set, up to 15 blue balls, that will take a lot of time. The RNG is fixed between both our runners, so they'll have the same pattern. And Willard is abandoning Eastern and will have an entire Aga tower between him and Werf right now.
Okay,
yeah.
so neither of these runners are going to be really punished for this if it doesn't end up being the move that you expected to do. But it makes sense for both of them to do this.
But yeah, so we're going to do the other counting game we do here, because we like to count everything for some reason. So there's our guaranteed first orange ball. And there's one. Followed by another orange one. Alright. That's not too bad. This could still be a 2-cycle Aga. Two more orange balls. As our tracker points out, they are counting everything. Alright, 2 blue balls. Now, if we do go into Eastern and we do find the hammer or another glove, then both these runners are going to be like, well, what if they dipped Eastern? Like that's actually been one of the places this week where people have gambled and won major races on. In fact, I think Waitie's opponent earlier this week gambled on Eastern and beat Waitie by 2 minutes that way.
Yeah, I remember that race. It was a pendant Eastern as well.
Yes. I know my race earlier this week had the entire swamp set up in Eastern, and my opponent literally last locationed it about an hour after I found it. So Eastern could still likely be the play, but we are going to see pod here. This could be a quick pod. We don't have a potion, do we?
We do. There's a red potion they should have.
Red potion, okay. I knew we had a B potion, but... Okay, Werf with the third map check. Tastes like bees. Endorsed by Nicolas Cage. Anyway. So it's not bow locked. So we do have to find at least a few keys up in the front here. There's 5 items total in pod. It takes a scientist to explain the pod key logic. So I want the PhD in pod. And Willard is now done with Aga.
So with this key setup, the back of pod is also open, not bow locked. Willard's not going to go to pod, and we finally get some divergence between the runners.
Now, is this going to be Catfish to North Hyrule?
Looks like it.
This could pay out. There's nothing in both Eastern Pod. If Willard finds the next progression, I mean, this could pay out. I created too many B puns. I'm sorry. Well, now we have a bottle with a fairy in it. Catfish today is going to spit out $20. Willard says that's too rich for my blood. So if Worf was following key logic, Worf would realize that was going to be another small key.
I'm not 100% sure. It depends on what this eastern layout is. I don't know what's on the right side of pod.
There's our fire rod. Okay, so Willard's going to have to come get that fire rod eventually. We know, pod's a crystal, so Willard will check it.
Yeah, fire rod's a nice find, but it's not a huge thing right now.
I'm assuming Worf found all the items?
I'm guessing so. But he's not going to check Eastern for now.
Well, we've got the fire rod. That's another crystal you can clear now.
Oh, it might have just been the fact that he didn't have the big key, actually. So, and decided not to potion glitch.
Oh, there's blue mail. A little bit more defense for Willard. Ooh, Worf's not checking Catfish. Going to regain him a few minutes there. And okay, doing that route to check these. A little bit faster than what Willard did. Willard's going to check Bumper Ledge now. Red Boomerang is not going to be picked up this scene. So Willard's going to be dipping to Skull Woods without the fire rod. Excuse me, sorry. When Worf dips into Skull Woods, we'll be able to clear it. Well, there's one item already. Alright, Willard finds key. We'll probably go back into the front of Skull Woods to go down there. Worf is going to go ahead and check Lumberjack. This is going to be a blind check. We already know it's nothing. Worf doesn't. Alright, gonna have a bumper chest for the big key. We get one last check here in Skull Woods. And if it's not here, it's gonna be in the back. It is here. We found all 4 bottles.
So, at least item-wise, it's not going to hurt Willard. He'll have to come back here later to clear Skullwoods, but that's not a big deal with the flutes.
Yeah, and that's going to be one extra check Worf is going to do. Is going to be doing the bridge check. Take about about a minute to do that check. But Worf is going to have all 4 bottles. The completionist in me is happy for him.
It's got to be a little hard to be a completionist if you're playing this game.
Oh yeah. But when stuff like that happens, you're like, nice.
I mean, I remember when I was first playing this, and, you know, I always felt like every seed I needed to complete it, like, get everything. So, every seed was like an all-dungeon seed to me.
Nice.
All dungeons.
Yeah,
all dungeons plus 100% items. And it took me a little bit, actually, to get out of the habit of grabbing every little potential safety I saw. And what I mean by that is, like, starting to pass up things like pieces of hearts. Or maybe red mail if it was a little out of the way. Things like that.
That's why I kind of like playing multi-worlds, is, you know, I get to do all 216 checks. And, you know, I still do it within like 2 hours, so it's pretty fast, but, you know. Anyway, so we get Moth. This is going to be the 3rd crystal for Worf. Going to have a crystal league here, as Willard's probably just going to do front 4 of Thieves Town. And that's the 3rd crystal.
Yeah, for Willard, no hammer. You're not going to want to do the back here. Especially since you already found the small key. Or maybe I'm wrong.
Ooh, Willard's taking the gamble. This could pay out. If this is something like Kane or Bo. If this is Bo, Willard's back in this.
I know he picked up the small key and the big key. I don't know if he found what else he found in the pot in the front.
I know 300 rupees was one of them. But we find Bo in like Maiden's chest. Oh, that hellway right there, that hellway run.
Tracker saying Willard only found 1 item in the front, so there's 3 in the back here. Though he will not be able to check the big chest unless. So he's kind of hoping that that's nothing.
Let's hope Willard also doesn't think this is a crystal. Now, we're going to definitely get 3 items there. It's just going to be 50-50 for the 4th item.
You're peeked at Willard's stream quick. He knows this is a pendant.
You have to double check real fast. There was almost a team meeting on this. Wait. That was the weirdest Wallmaster grab I've seen. Oh, red mail.
Okay, so it's a 50-50 shot if he's going to find the last item here or not. Kachir, I think you have to defend yourself. They want to throw you on an airlock.
I was doing tasks in electrical. I don't know what you're talking about. But we do have a try to catch fog, but they missed. So Willard's going to do the script here for a pendant. And yeah, blinds are getting voted out here. We're going to hope for the item. We get that. Oh!
All right.
Oh my!
Now the question is, does Worf do the full dungeon? Remember, it is 3 items in the back, so that might incentivize him to do the full dungeon. We'll see what he does after the front 4. Without a hammer, he might be less incentivized to do the back as well, though. Though we know that the big chest is the map.
Yes. But yeah, no, that's French vanilla mitts in a pendant thieves town.
Now, Worf has his mirror out, so this makes me think he's planning to mirror.
This is a lot of digs, though. It's going to be the same amount of digs for Worf. And that's the mirror out. Whoo, boy.
So that is interesting, and it eventually Worf is gonna get he's gonna get blocked and going back in there. So it's just a matter of how soon that happens.
I was totally expecting like 20 rupees to be on blind. I'm not going to lie.
And this is also going to be more efficient for Willard, because he's going to be able to work the Smith chain into these checks.
Alright, so far they're just printing money. That's a fraud business here. They're called the authorities. And we're going to go ahead and grab the purple chest and do south checks now. I just realized you do have to pay 10 in the vanilla game for Smiths.
Well, you actually pay 10 in Rando as well. You just don't notice it.
Oh. Shows you how much I pay attention. I don't even pay.
Yeah, it's such a small amount, you don't even really notice it most of the time. Willard's going to leave the chest behind here, but that's fine. He'll do a little glitch to bring the chest with him. And Willard might start thinking Ice Palace now.
Yeah, that's actually a very nice Ice Palace, but we don't have hammer.
Yeah, I was about to say, actually, yeah, we don't have hammer yet, so Ice Palace isn't quite as nice.
Worf is doing the same trick here. Smith chain was nothing.
What? Oh, he's gonna go check Bombos. Yeah, so is Willard. Huh? Willard also lets the bee fly away.
Alright, so both tablets had nothing. Willard can now also check, like, Checkboard Cave. Oh, actually, I just realized Willard could also do Meyer. If, yeah, Willard could do Meyer.
Yeah, Meyer is fully in logic. That's likely going to be his next play. Because a hammer and Meyer is a very common occurrence.
Something big being in Meyer, even though it's only 2 items, is somehow really common. Point out in chat, we can also see right side Dark Death Mountain. I mean, we don't plan on coming back there to the end of the game anyway, because we don't want to do TR, but that's something we can do as well. Alright, so that's just about everything. Willard could also do the pod dip and get the fire rod, but...
Yeah, and this actually is somewhat good for Worf, because he's going to get he's going to be forced to go back into Thieves Town sooner rather than later.
Oh, is this the swamp play? This is the swamp play.
Oh. So I saw this play work earlier today. Somebody made this play, and they got a big item in the first chest here.
Yeah, we only have one chest in logic here, and it's a very long check to get that one item.
This works out much better if you don't check the dam early, but that is such a hard thing to pull off.
Bloomerang and the hammer! Okay.
Oh!
So Willard is now a bow away from running to pod to find the fire rod. Willard can now do Ice Palace. I mean, Willard might be in dungeon mode now.
Yeah, again, for fans of Werf, that's actually kind of good because it's going to force him into Thieves Town sooner rather than later because he's going to run out of checks really quickly.
Well, there's Bugnet. That's the only item that's available. That does not unlock anything. And Willard with Red Mail, with Temper Sword. This is going to be a very nice mire to run through. And where is Werf going?
I don't know. Oh, he's going to take this portal to Catfish.
Yep. I just realized this is Catfish, which we know has nothing, but this is going to give Willard an extra minute here. We're going to Meridia. Thinks the hammer is behind Dragon. When are they going to add SMZ3 to the league? It's technically SMZ. It's technically a Link to the Past mode, right?
I guess technically, yes. Which I also bring up an interesting point. We still have not gone into Eastern, and Werf might make that play before going into Thieves Town.
Yeah, I mean, dip crystals instead of pendants, of course. But if we find Bow here, that... I mean, Willard won't know it, but that's actually our no mode.
Not quite. We still need a bow.
No, that's what I'm saying. We find Bow here.
I thought you well, we still need... Oh, no, we don't need Ice Rod. What am I thinking?
No, yeah, we don't need Ice Rod. We just need Bow to beat Pod Eastern. We'll find Fire Rod to beat, you know, Skull Woods. This has been a very nice seed. Pain in the butt seed. Let's not joke around. It's a pain in the butt seed.
See, I have too much PTSD from Ice Rod, so I always assume it's needed.
Now, where's Werf going?
I think this has got to go back. He's got to be going back for Thieves Town because he doesn't have another way to get back here. He's got to run along the north. Yeah, he's going for Thieves Town. Yeah, the bow place. The race could come down to the bow placement at this point because if it's in Willard's path, Willard's in a great position. If it's somewhere outside of Willard's path, then Werf has a chance, especially if it's behind that fire rod.
Well, we found the big key here. I think we only have a couple more chests left. I don't think we found an item yet, Meyer, have we?
I don't think so.
Werf gained the nice Hellway as well.
Oh, we have found one item, just a 20.
All right,
it looks
last
like
item's on Vidi.
Yep, last item's on Vidi.
So we're about an hour in, 50 minutes in. Don't forget to give these runners a follow. They're putting on a great show. I know most of us here are good friends with Willard. Werf is putting on a great fight as well, so give them each a follow. Don't forget, we have a whole bunch of races. This is like, what, the fourth race tonight in the last few hours. I know SG1 has like a doubleheader going on between the two teams. We have a few more after this one.
So looking at how this was going to play out, Worf, my expectation, he's going to get the mids here, and he's going to make the same play, like going to Meyer. Well, he actually might go up Death Mountain first. It'll be a choice between Death Mountain and Meyer for him.
I see Willard going up Death Mountain for Ice Palace, though.
I don't know about that. Just because he can clear Ice Palace with what he's got. Worf can't clear Ice Palace unless he finds the hammer.
Alright, we got double bosses going on. Willard doing some... Ooh, Willard, you only have 3 hearts, my dude. Yeah, get that dash strat in. Laggy strats for the win. And Worf gets the script down. And Willard is now just playing something with the... I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that. Anyway, Worf now has mitts. And there was nothing in Meyer. Willard was playing a Clear Eyes commercial against Vinny.
Oh, I don't think he... Oh, never mind. I don't think he wanted to do that. he mirrored and then immediately regretted it. He wants to do the Smith chain first.
Alright, we're going to check checkerboard. Willard still has to do hammer pegs eventually now. The hammer's in inventory. Alright, so where's Willard going now? Willard's going to be fluting to... Oh, yep, Ice Palace, you're right.
Yeah, he's going to stick with crystals. Makes sense.
Both 3 items up for grabs. We're going to see the very nice Icebreaker. You know, everyone used to hate going to this dungeon until Icebreaker was discovered. Now people still hate going to this dungeon, but it's not as bad.
Meanwhile, Worf's going to turn in this chest, and we'll see where he goes afterwards. Yeah, he's making the logical play. He's going to also go for Meyer area, because he knows at minimum he can clear Meyer right now.
But, you know, Worf will get the hammer, will be in bow mode. What's your favorite setup for Icebreaker?
I mean, pretty much what Willard did right there.
I like doing the shadow strat, like lining the shadow up perfectly where the pixel would be.
I mean, I guess I kind of do that too. I mean, mine looks very similar to what Willard did, but I guess I line it up a little slower.
Alright, so Worf is now going to run through Meyer. Nope. We get the single arrow.
So yeah, we have to start thinking about routes coming out of here. Like Worf might at the same time now be incentivized to do ice. Willard probably is going to climb a mountain after here.
They're trying to feel like this is going to come down to GT execution. Now there's another rupee horde, and I think that means the last item's on Cold Stare. We're getting comments for Vanilla Bow, which could be possible.
That is still possible. Neither runner has gone into Eastern yet.
What? Actually, wait, no, we know this was an Agassiz for sure. Never mind, I was going to be like, oh, we've got an Eastern and this, and this is there, but...
Yeah, we already confirmed this is an Agassiz.
Yep.
We're going for a normal setup, a cold stare, try to get him in the corner. Little out of it.
I still got enough hits on them when they were grouped to get them all exploding at about the same time. For the bow!
And that is really good for Willard, because now he's going to be sent to Eastern Pod. He's going to get his fire rod. He's going to be in gun mode shortly.
Yep. But again, if Worf does that same path we just got them talking about, same story. I mean, but Willard's going to have to detour for that Skull Woods, but Willard's about ready to get Pod Eastern down in one go.
And wait, where's he? What's he doing?
Hammer pegs before going in, maybe?
I guess so, but doesn't make sense. You've just got access to Eastern and Pod. I mean, I guess he's hoping to find a rod here.
I mean, you find Fire Rod here, you do Skull now, then you just Pod Eastern.
I guess so. I mean, I guess it's one of those spots he just doesn't want to leave behind.
But, in here, though... Nope. Okay. Now you're going to Pod.
Yeah, you can put Eastern Pod off here. You basically have 8 checks between the two dungeons, and they're both crystals and clearable. You can't put them off.
And we know if Willard does Pod first, that's a go mode Eastern, which, could be fast or slow, depending on where the vanilla big key is. Not the very big. Oh my goodness. It's definitely like a 5th Monday in a row.
And the question for Worf is what he does after this. If he goes to ice, he'll keep a pace with Willard up, and he does, like as you mentioned, he does have that Skullwoods clear already going for him. But that's not enough on its own to give him an advantage. He needs something else to happen.
Now, this is just going to come down to Ganon's Tower execution. I feel like they're going to be within a couple minutes of each other going to Ganon's Tower, and just depending on how you route Ganon's Tower, and any small mistakes you make will just add up, basically.
I mean, it could also come out to a GT route. Worf is a little bit more methodical with his clear of Vidi, but gets down.
Ooh, got shocked there.
See someone in the chat talking about Willard using the Garfield sprite. Willard likes to alternate between Garfield and Homer. I think it generally happens on a tournament-by-tournament basis. He'll switch him up. He doesn't like looking at the same sprite for too long.
Both sprites were made for him, though, right?
I think so. Like, I could be wrong on that, though. But Worf is making the play to ice, so this is good for him.
Yeah, this is just going to come down. I mean, Willard should be getting done with Pod around the time Worf gets done with Ice Palace. So Worf will be in Go Mode Pod in Eastern. Willard will just have Go Mode Eastern, then having to run all the way to Moth. So it'll be. They might finish up at the same time to get to Gaines Tower.
It is worth mentioning too that Willard is basically Worf is actually catching up some time here on Willard because Willard has to full clear Pod still, whereas Worf will have a quick clear Pod, so that's some more time that Worf will make up.
Now Willard is just retracing Worf right now, but we'll have the big key actually. But Willard should the second find the fire rod in the North Star. No, Willard.
This is fine. This is fine. This is actually a normal play. If you're one item from Go Mode, you find the big key early, you rush Helmosaur. He'll come back in. Like, I've made the exact same play. And it makes sense when you're one item from Go Mode and you get the early big key. And if he doesn't come back in, I will be saying some stuff to him in our team chat.
It's time to replace the W and the B with the CW. Anyway, old TV joke.
Yeah, this actually happens more than you think. Like, when you have a dungeon you can rush the boss on, and you're one item from Go Mode, it makes sense to rush the boss, even if it means you have to come back in afterwards.
But yeah, Willard's going to be on Helmsar now. That guy was the sword poke strat. I'm also not sure why doing hammer when sword does the same amount of damage.
Yeah, that's weird.
But you get the gold sword for your problems, I guess. I mean, honestly, right now all the gold sword does is just make GT a little bit nicer.
Okay, now I'm a little concerned. I think he's just going to do Eastern. He'll go back to Pod if he doesn't find it in Eastern. So this will cost him a little time.
And again, it depends. If like the big key's in vanilla, then it's a wash, basically.
That's true. If the big key's vanilla, it's basically a wash on time.
Maybe Eastern out the second fire rod. The improved fire rod from Link Between Worlds.
Yeah, like I said, he won't leave Pod behind. It's 4 items in there. He only found 1 item in Pod.
You get the fire rod from Hyrule warriors that, create fire pillars that streak across the ground. But yeah, werfjig, it will be the first runner in Go Mode at hour 8. We'll just have to do the Pod Eastern duo there. And we'll know werfjig will actually get the gold sword while doing all this. We'll make Ganon not quite faster if you can one cycle him with tempered, but And it is a vanilla big key, so it's a wash.
So after this, Willard still needs to go back in the pod, find his fire rod, which will probably be a full clear of the rest of the pod. So, yeah.
I mean, I think werfjig gets into GT probably about 2 minutes earlier than Willard does. So it will come down to execution.
I don't know about 2 minutes, but we'll see.
Well, good thing we know there was nothing in Eastern. But yeah, no, Worf will have to run all the way to that vanilla big key chest at least, so I mean, Willard doing this now doesn't hurt him. Technically, there is no go mode Eastern today. And Willard's now on Armos. Alright.
So that's Willard's 6th crystal. He now needs to just go back to the portal and go into the pod.
And that looks like that's the plan.
Yeah. So, overall, really, this isn't that much of a difference in time. I mean, maybe he would have avoided a chest or a chest in Eastern. One less mirror portal, but that's about it.
Worf is not going to pick up the big chest, but will pick up the rest of the chest looking for that big key. Now, Willard should know that Harmless Hellway would be a key if he's been counting keys. Or, okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one. I mean, I can see both if that's the fire rod he's out. The fire rod was in the top left chest of the maze here.
Yeah, so Worf is finishing off Helma. Willard's about ready to grab that fire rod. They'll both be actually leaving pod at about the same time here.
Yeah, Worf will be out a few seconds first. This will be close, actually. Yeah, I don't know who's going to get to GT first.
Actually, Willard's out first. Wait. No, I lied by like a second. Yeah, so Worf has to do all of Eastern. Willard is fluing to 3, will be running straight to the back of pod. Just has to finish them off. Guys, we have a race on our hands.
Yeah, this really could go either way. It really does come down to GT execution and route.
But yeah, no, Willard finding that those mitts about 5 minutes before Worf did, you know, caught up with the time where Worf found the fire rod so much earlier, so. Yep, this was an AGA 1 seed. And Willard's now 2 rooms away from the boss. Worf still has to get the vanilla big key. So actually, depending on how nice Moth wants to be to Willard, Willard could actually be in GT first. Nice little dash there. Remember, if Moth hits the spikes, the damage is negated because of some weird coding. But Willard actually had a nice fast Moth there. And now we have a game we like to play. So all that Willard has to do now is to beat Ganon. To get to Ganon, we must get to the top of the tower. To get to the top, we need to find a key. There is 22 locations where this big key could be, so in chat, make your guesses between 1 and 22 right now. We'll stop the game whenever whoever gets in there first, it's probably going to be Willard, opens the door and walks through.
Yeah, Willard's going to go straight to GT. He has no reason to open anything on the way.
I should also point out, remember, if Willard does win this race, that will put DTB in first for now in Misery Mire. There's still some more races with other teams left to go this week. There's currently, did you guys know you were in a 5-way tie for first right now?
I actually did not know that.
Now, 5 teams in Misery Mire has 9 points, so this will put you guys at 12. I think, like most of the other 9-point teams have both their races to do, but you guys could easily finish this week tied for first.
Actually, the standings are... Well, yeah, it would be a tie for first with Shack Tools digging game. They're at 12 points now.
Oh, okay. I forgot they also had a run today.
Yeah, they still have one more this week. Double Dippers and they vetoed our acronym could also get to 15 this week. Actually, I take that back. Double Dippers is playing they vetoed our acronym, so they both cannot get to 15.
Alright, Willard is now opening up the GT. Once Willard enters, we'll hit stop on the command. Werf is now one whole Death Mountain behind now. And away we go. So Willard is actually going to does Willard does dark? Yeah, no, Willard does Dark Magician to full right all the way to Armos, doesn't he?
Not always the full Armos. The full Armos was, I think, a one-time thing.
Now, first IM was just a small key.
And I think Willard will play this more traditionally because I doubt he feels like he's... If anything, he feels like he's probably equal at this point, if maybe at worst a little behind.
I'm surprised Werf checked those chests. I mean, I guess silvers would be the only thing you'd be looking for right now, but your red mail, gold sword, silverless scanning shouldn't be that difficult.
Willard's going full left.
All right.
So if that big key's in Hope Room.
Now, if it's in Hober right now, Werf is taking the lead, but I do believe I didn't say what Willard opened the door at, but that was about 2 minutes ago, so yeah, I was right, 2 minutes separation.
This will be chest 7 for Willard.
Another small key. Werf did go left. We'll see if Werf decides to Dark Magician this.
Yeah, route could be big here. Yeah, if Werf's Dark Magicians, it's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out. It's 8, 9, 10,
nope,
and
10.
11.
Oh, 11.
That's 11.
That's 11. All right.
And Werf doing Dark Magician is going to fall further behind.
Yeah, that's going to be check like what 20 something now, not 20 something, but basically it's going to be super late.
It depends if he goes full right or if he mirrors after Compass Room. But yeah, this is, at this point, Willard's race to lose. Or is it Willard's race to win? I never... Did I say that wrong?
No, yeah, it's Willard's race to lose. Like, right now, Willard has a big enough lead. If Willard makes, like, mistakes, like, you know, we don't like talking about Ganon falls with these caliber players, but it still occasionally, very rarely happens, you know. But Willard will need to do that, like, 1,000 times, but we don't do that really that much anymore.
Yeah, we don't talk about that. I know sometimes some people in chat like talking about that, but we don't.
But see, you know, other things could happen, like, you know, running out of magic by accident, which shouldn't happen, but just small things. Like, if enough small things add up, basically. Like, if this red dude just avoids Willard for the next 3 minutes, then Worf will regain the lead.
Those conveyor belts are more annoying than they look. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've danced with those enemies.
Alright, Willard is going to try and do a quick kill here on the Lamos. Gets a nice hit on all of them. They're all one hit away from death. And, of course, you know, you gotta deal with lag in this room, so...
But there's the big key for Worf. He mirrors now.
Has a whole tower, basically.
Yeah, it's probably about a 3-minute lead at least at this point for Willard, if not more. Willard is going to check a chest or two to see if he happens to find the silvers. Which actually he won't. It looks like Worf found
it
them.
in, like, right side, so...
So that will give Worf an extra minute, but that's not going to be enough by itself for him to catch up.
One last heart container. The nice unlucky 13 go into Agatu and Ganon. But yeah, if you're joining us, this was basically this race was neck and neck, and two choices kind of affected the race. Worf did pod very early after coming out of Aga 1. Found the Fire Rod early, where Willard, the first time through Village of Outcasts, found Mitts early after, you know, Willard just had a very nice 3-cycle Aga 2 there. And aside from that, it was just execution that kind of kept these two close with those checks.
Ooh, Worf saves the 1 cycle there.
Now, silvers, if you could do silvers in that room, I commend you. So much slag in that room. I need silvers to the mix.
It's now just a Ganon fight for Willard. Gold Sword means the first 2 phases will be quick. Third phase Third phase is basically always the same, and then he's just got to do Silverless fourth.
Also, not take too many more hugs.
I don't know if Willard's got a magic potion at all.
Willard's going to have to be going for triples here. Like, if Willard runs out of magic here, that could be the way Werf gets back in this.
Yeah, he should be fine. You don't need a potion, but yeah. He's got Torch Glitch. He'll probably use the lamp to start here to make sure he doesn't run out of magic, and then as he gets into the later spins, he'll go to fire. Oh, never mind.
Major Liar, miss a fire rod shot. That's something you do not want to do. You only have, what, 8 fire rod shots normally?
Yeah, with a full bar magic, you get 8. And he's going to switch back to lamp because of that. He's well aware of his magic situation.
No, back to fire rod now. It's like 10 minutes ago he heard you and knew he had to switch back to fire rod to invalidate what you said.
Yeah, he's taking this very carefully.
Now, only I wasn't counting, but I think like 3 or 4 more spins left.
He's got 2 more. Oh, just one more.
Fighters, okay. As long as Willard crosses this 1x3 gap, he is going to be our winner. Get your GGs in chat for WillardJBradley. Finishes with a 125.50. Will bring WJB bring your own beer. Anyway, to 4-2, 12 points. But yeah. GG's, are you? How you feel about that, teammate of Willard?
It's a good win. I mean, this is definitely a close. This has ended up being a very close race. So, good to see them. Good to see the team go 2-0 this week. Especially going into next week, it's going to be a very difficult matchup coming up.
Sure. Well, not next week. Next week is SG Live, where you and a whole bunch of other people are going to be doing a bunch of open boots. There's going to be a lot of races and like. How many days? Like 8 days. Most of you guys are going to have to do up to like 10 races.
Like, I think the group stage is 160 total races, and basically the course of like 5 days.
Yeah. So watch out for that. We're going to have SG Live on 2 channels next week. It's going to be very fun. We have, over a dozen tournaments going on with money on the line. I know almost everyone and Willard's group is in it in some way, shape, or form. But yeah, no, Werf is going to have a much easier game than 5 of those silvers. So it's almost over here for Werf, and we'll probably get both of them into chat.
Yeah, no torch glitch, but doesn't matter.
Almost gets the triple there. But yeah, get your GGs in chat for werfjig. It's going to be finishing second, but I mean, within 2 minutes, you can't really, say that was a bad run. 127.48, just under 2 minutes. GG to Werf.
Silver's cut off about a minute from his run, but yeah, by themselves they weren't enough to catch up, to make up the difference.
Yeah, fun stuff, fun stuff. We still have more races going on here tonight. More races going on tomorrow. Yeah, so next week is SG Live. So a bunch of tournaments, bunch of money we're going to be giving away. Do I have the ability to invite them?
Oh yeah, that's right. We need to invite them.
We'll be getting them in here shortly. And then the week after that, spoiler week. Do you know who you guys are against for spoiler week? Off the top of your head?
We'll be against the vetoed our acronym.
Possibly a very good one there. Do you know who's? I think Willard's piloting once and DT's piloting it once. Are you playing it next week at all?
I will not be in that week. Those two are gonna basically switch roles, so they'll be doing both races.
Fun stuff. Should be very interesting. I love spoiler week, especially like last season. I was the spoiler, the pilot, and I was sitting in chat, like talking with commentators in the Twitch chat and stuff like that.
Let's see.
Fun stuff. Classified strategies. DT's mad that you're giving out classified strategies. You just gotta vote him out next time out of the airlock. Just
Yeah, I think we need to try to get them in here. We're working on getting the runners in here.
There was a Discord update that kind of affected our bot, so it's been mostly manual work, getting invites to commentators and trackers and stuff like that. While we're figuring this out, let me take a look at the schedule. Well, we got Willard in here, GG Willard, and Worf is joining us here any second, and we'll just talk to you guys at the same time. And GG Worf, how you guys feel about the seed?
Thanks for the GGs. Those kind of seeds where you have to kind of make that Aga play either early or the last thing you do are not that fun. But after that, for me, it was a pretty linear seed of you just literally go Thieves to Mire to Ice to Pod for go mode, and that was it. But yeah, early game was bad. Late game was okay.
No, I don't know if you guys were listening while the Aga 2 fights were going on, but I know you guys were talking about your routes in race time. Yeah, no, it was just a story of Worf doing Pod early and you doing Thieves Sound early. And that was it. Other than that was execution.
Well, I'm happy that was it. I was lamenting earlier. I thought I played pretty well this seed, and it was pretty linear. I guess like Willard, I wanted to put everything off before going to Aga Tower. I wasn't going to rush that. The only thing was I absolutely refused. Even when I was searching for my mitts, I considered going into Eastern. But at that point, I'm like, if progression's in Eastern, then I lose already. So I had to.
Yeah, same.
Had to not do that.
Did you?
Yeah.
I at least checked Zaha Hut before I decided to go do Aga Tower because like if there's just a hammer right here, then I can avoid all this.
Yeah. Yep, I did the same thing.
And then yeah, it was just a big old loop around North Dark World, dip into Skull. I was so scared going through Thieves Town because I'm like, if it's in Easter, I just lose. And then was very thankful that Blind dropped those mitts. And then yeah, it was just me getting nervous, wondering where the fire rod was because in the back of my head I'm like, it could be in Swamp, it could be like in the front of T-Rock, and I just really wanted to skip those two checks in all of Dark Death Mountain. So
you say you were nervous, but those mitts were my last check before Easter, so I was really sweating at that point.
Oh well, see that I need to watch this one back because when I saw that you finished, I was like, wow, I was very surprised how close it was. Just because you were saying like you dipped Pod, you checked the first chest in Swamp, and I was like, those add up time. I wonder. I'm just really curious. And of course, you had those silvers, which, I mean, my Gan in Phase 4 was terrible. So was easy time save against that.
Yeah, I think I lied in race time about silvers. I thought I found them in Hope Room, but they must have been in Compass. I think someone in chat said they were in Compass.
Wow, who'd have thought I could trust Ganon over you? Unbelievable.
Sorry about it.
Yeah, no, I mean, Worf, you did a lot of great plays. I mean, you showed off execution. It was a very close race, actually. Until Willard found those minutes, Worf was actually in the lead thanks to the fire rod. Worf did, Willard, you dipped Skull Woods, checked all the chests. Worf, was able to go straight to the back.
Yeah. Well, I'll take a double dip Skull Woods over a double dip pod any day.
Yeah, that's fair. Plus, it seems like it was more of a blessing in disguise because, he already had that fire source in the lamp. So the fire rod, all it gave me was, without mitts, all it gives me is Skull Woods, and there was nothing back there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why I was so happy when the bow showed up first, because it's like I would rather get the bow before the fire rod, because the bow opens up so much better routing options, while fire rod does nothing, since I already got the 2 items out of Skull, and I was like, and I sure as heck don't want to go to T-Rock, so...
Yeah, no, actually, Death Mountain had nothing for us because, Silvers was in GT. You guys found everything else outside. There couldn't have been really anything in Hookshot, or Worf checked Super Bunny.
Yeah, I did too. I was hoping for silvers on the way up. Like that's
right side for that.
That's about the only time I would check Super Bunny if I was just going straight to GT. I was like, well, I need to go to the Dark World anyway, so I might as well check this. I will say my Harapot was terrible that I bailed on it. I haven't done that in a while. I don't know. I was getting. I'm sorry, Restream. I told them that my audio was good, and then I just was like, I'm gonna just have my mic and webcam on and talk for the first 20 some minutes with no MSU, just with the vanilla music. So some wires didn't get connected in my brain for there, and then I panicked and turned off my webcam, and then that's when Harapod happened. And I was like,
oh no,
it's funny.
Yeah, no, Drosy was like, yeah, Willard's talking. I'm like, well, that's very unlike Willard, but you know what? Let's just roll with this. We got Worth. It's Worth that way.
I figured, I was like, you know what? At this point, maybe I should just keep my mic and webcam on and just let them use werfjig's audio, because now they're just going to be too afraid to use mine since I lied.
Yeah, I am a little upset that I didn't get to show off the double heart beeps. At least I don't remember. I don't think I ever got that low in health.
This one...
I'm pretty sure you didn't, because we would have heard chat complaining.
No, we would have complained. JP and I would have been like, all right, let's just listen to Willard for a bit. Let's hear his ramblings. Let's get on the sideline with this.
Real quick, Spleeby in chat is asking me about hammer pigs. That was just a one-off that was in the back of my mind before I went into Ice Palace. I just really wanted to make sure, because if Fire Rod was there, then you get to go mode pod in Eastern and beat Skullwoods while you're over there. So I was like, either I do hammer pegs and go to pod, or I do Pyramid Fairy, go to pod. And I picked hammer pegs, went to pod. And then, of course, the whole pod, quote-unquote, double dip, because of Big Key being on right side. I think that I lost time there, but it made sense to me if Eastern ended up having the Fire Rod anyway.
I mean, Eastern, had the vanilla Big Keys, so you couldn't really go mode Eastern anyway, so you didn't really lose time.
I was happy about that, because I was like, okay, well, I didn't lose any time doing this dungeon. But I just had a hunch that Fire Rod had to be somewhere lamp locked. It just felt right. But yeah, GG's werfjig. This was a good race. I will definitely have to skim this one back.
Same. I'm definitely gonna watch this one back. I'm especially interested in who made it to Dark World first, because it sounds like we did all the same exact things.
I can definitely say that Worf made it to Dark World first.
Yeah.
Game at Aga 1.
It wasn't because I totally zoned out and I saw Aga moving up to the top middle, and I was looking at the race time channel, or I don't know, I was just looking away from the game, and all of a sudden I look back and see him hit me with an orb, and I'm like, wait, what? Whoops. So I just completely
we were focused on Worth running through pod to see.
Okay, good. I got an extra lightning bolt for no reason because I'm dumb, but that's fine.
No, the second Worth found Fire Rod, it was like, oh no, Willard's gonna be in a bad spot if we don't see Bo here soon, and then you got lucked out with the mids, and then that mids gave you basically a tiny bit of the lead, and then the weird pod EP pod play kind of let Worf catch up a bit.
Mhm.
Like, I know it was still pretty good. I mean,
The potty be pot is it really that slower? I think it only costs
I
like
mean-
a mirror.
It's 2 mirror. Well, yeah, I guess it is 1 mirror. It's not that much slower. I mean, it would have been faster, obviously, if Fire Rod was on Armos or something. But I was like, if I can skip having to do extra not required checks, then I'm saving time here, and I need to get this crystal anyway. So I didn't feel bad about doing it.
And
I mean,
Fire
you
Rod
got-
was your
Okay.
go mode, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, that makes a lot of sense.
Hmm. But yeah, I guess if it had come down to it, since you already had Fire Rod, you just needed the bow for your go
Yeah.
mode.
That was in bow
So
mode.
if you had done Ice before Mire, you would have been able to save more time. That's a weird play to make, to get Hammer and then leave.
Yeah, I didn't like it while I was doing it, just because there's only 2 items there, and it's long to not go mode it.
Mhm. It's true. Well, you got to skip cutscene apparently, so
Well, I skipped it. The second item was on.
on Vidi.
Yeah, so I was like, I'm not doing it. I'm just not gonna.
Yeah. Well, if Fire Rod was
I mean-
there, it would have been
I
unfortunate.
mean, you guys-
But you already had it, so you would have been fine.
I mean, you guys could see how close this was just by off you guys' dice screens right now. Like 152, 148. You know, in-game time.
125.50 to 136.25. I don't know. That's
That's pretty close. That's pretty close.
11 minutes.
I don't know. Yeah, but the whole thing was like an hour and a half. So really,
Oh, you got a bug net? Where'd you get that?
I don't remember.
All right, I don't actually
No,
care.
no, it
so
was
we're
the
good.
swamp chest. It was swamp. That was the.
Oh yeah, it was
okay.
the first chest in swamp. That was it. Yeah.
Sick. All right, good.
I'm like the seed gave me mirror flippers and hookshot for this one moment, and then it was Bucknet.
Oh man. No, anything else you guys want to talk about? Worf, who you guys facing 2 weeks from now?
I
For-
don't know. It's in 2 weeks, so I haven't really thought about it. I think it might be Forfeiters or Us.
Yep, it is Forfeiters or Us.
Aha.
Awesome. So who's racing that week? Because we heard all of the plans from JP for Willard and DT 2 weeks from now.
Oh well, we haven't
Like
talked about
JP's
it.
filled it all.
We haven't really talked about it, but I think because Revenant is going to miss a couple weeks towards the end of the season, he's probably going to be one of our racers, and then it's going to be either me and Tam as the other one. I think Tam says that he was going to be the pilot for both of them, but I personally think that sounds like too much work, so I might study up and see if I can let him play one.
Awesome stuff. Are you? I know Willard's in SG Live. Are you in SG Live, Worf?
Nope.
All right. Well, enjoy your week off.
Yeah,
I'm gonna hang
enjoy.
out.
I have so many tournament. Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I'm doing all mine. So this was a good warm up. Now I just gotta remove the required Hyrule Castle play at the beginning and switch to open mode, and I'm good to go.
Perfect.
Yeah, no. Like JP was saying, like each group is going to have 160 races.
Well, not each group, but like 160 races total in the group.
1,000 races total.
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness!
How many are you playing at once?
In a
Willard?
Swiss format? Wow.
It's 2018 all over again.
No, it's 160 races between the 16 groups. Each group has 10 races total, basically.
Oh, man. All right.
Should be fun.
Yeah, SGL
Anything
sounds
else
like fun.
Anything else you guys want to talk about? I think it's about time to wrap up.
GG's, man. Good race.
Yeah, GG's. And thanks to the thanks for comms and tracking and stuff.
Yep.
It's fun to lose on a big stage. I say that every single time I'm restreamed. One day.
One day.
I feel bad.
No. You can laugh with me.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Anything you want to say, JP?
I mean, just look at this division. We were talking about earlier. Yeah, right now it's a tie for first between Shaq Digging Game and WJP DTB, though Shaq Digging Game still has a game to play this week. I mean, interesting scenario could still happen if Shaq loses their second game of the week. Double Dippers and they veto acronym split, and then Old Swagga wins, then there could be a 5-way tie at 12 points. So
we're about to the halfway point of this the groups too. So, I mean, this is looking like a big group of death right now.
Still we're on the.
It took us a few weeks to get into it last season too, so we'll get better as we go.
Overall in the league, we're still down to 2 teams that are undefeated.
Yeah, that's the 2019 Titans Mints of 2019, and who else again?
Andrana Drifters.
Yeah, that team is, that's insane. I had to face that team last league. It was not fun. Anything else you want to add, JP? Also, thanks for joining in such short notice.
And I think you covered it all. Good to work with you today. As everyone said, give a follow to our runners. Thanks to everyone here. Thanks to our tracker, Mindful Beast. Yeah, more races going on. Let me pull up the schedule.
We have a couple more races in progress right now. We have Metroid Prime in progress. I think that's it for today, but then, of course, we're going to have a lot more league action tomorrow.
Yep, there's 4 races on the schedule tomorrow. We should at least have 3 ongoing races right now. 1 on Speed Gaming, 1 on Speed Gaming 3, and 1 on Speed Gaming 4.
Oh, yeah, check those out. A lot of good runs. If you enjoyed the high quality of gameplay between these 2 runners, that's more high quality gameplay. I mean, some teams may only have 3 points right now, but, earlier this week, Pug Trio lost to a 3-point team. So they're still good runners. It's invitational for a reason.
Yeah, exactly. It's not going to be easy to win any games this season.
But yeah, no. Also, don't forget to follow all of 6 main Speed Gaming Network channels and all of our foreign language channels. Don't forget to follow the link to the past league channels as well for more action over there, mostly open stuff. I'd like to thank JP again and our runners and our tracker and Feasel for putting this all together. And I'm just going to say good night and may the Triforce be with all you guys.
Good night, everybody.